And welcome to the Raw preview. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to look ahead to tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also Friday Night SmackDown. The show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup that we complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to look ahead to Raw tonight and all the fallout from Backlash.
Yeah. Well, you're doing the Backlash really later on.
Yeah, I watched it. I didn't watch it for any reason, pal.
I'm not sure if you'd seen the whole...
Didn't watch it for fun.
I'm not sure if you'd seen the whole thing or not. We'll try and not step on our own dicks in talking about Backlash, but most of it was Raw.
Poor?
No, actually. And I look forward to us agreeing on virtually nothing about this show, but doing so in a way I enjoy, as opposed to the absolute shit I read on X over the weekend as the show was taking place. Most of it was Raw-led, because Raw's been good after WrestleMania as opposed to SmackDown, which has been bad. The card was predominantly Raw stuff, and while typically now there's 5 matches on the card, they're always building to something else. They're always building to Saturday night's main event. You pointed out this morning, there's a gazillion PLEs between now and SummerSlam.
See the run we've got to come.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Too much, if anything.
Too much, if anything. But yeah, Raw drove most of the Backlash, so there actually probably will be. I will feel like, consequential PLE, on with the consequential TV show.
If we don't want to step on our dicks, did he catch SmackDown?
No, is the truth. Is the stone cold truth.
It's good stuff.
What was your favourite bit?
I genuinely did watch it. Not my favourite bit, but the bit where I think this is true anyway, found out that the fake Randy Orton that attacked, actually, did you see this? There was a fake Randy Orton.
Yeah, I saw that.
But who was?
I know who it was.
Oh, okay.
Well, he doesn't. So basically, they did.
I saw that segment. I don't know who the. My assumption was it was going to be.
I got excited because I thought we could have a game, and then I was like, everyone knows.
Yeah,
it's just out there.
Yeah, well, I saw a tweet about it, not 100% confirmed, but what is?
I thought there was a nice bit in it being.
Question everything.
It's new gimmick, new bit. It's like QA Wilb.
Yeah, Miles Bourne.
See, that's exactly what I thought it should have been.
That'd be a cute idea.
No, dear, that's wrong.
But right ballpark, yes?
Right. Yeah. We're on the right path.
We've got a massive clue if you can't get it within 3.
Raging clue.
I don't know, because I assumed that would be a thing, and then he wanted to do a solid for Randy, and that kind of fallen short. An NXT person.
Oh.
It's liquid. You need a job for a solid pro.
Ethan Page.
He's so close.
No, dear, that's
real
wrong.
Close, though.
You're real close.
Sean Spears. Bingo! How can that possibly be a story?
Right, hang on. Go on, please. Sean Spears cage match.
Okay.
How is he going to make that a master plan of the culling that he appeared in a balaclava?
He's all about favours, WWE,
right
now.
Please go on matches. I just want to find out when he first worked a match in any form of WWE developmental, which I'm fairly certain he was in the
I'd say 07.
07, maybe even tail end 06.
Yeah.
But OV dubs.
Gavin Spears.
Oh,
Sean
Not including working Sunday Night Heat, or are we including working?
No, I'm on his first date, really, for the OVW.
Or FC. Is it OVW?
OVW, yeah. He was in OVW for a while.
Oh.
You're saying what, sorry?
His first date for either OVW or Deep South or a affiliated WWE feeder league.
I have that. He worked OVW. Do you want to guess the year? Sorry.
2006, I'm
I'd have said 7, but...
Michael Sidgwick. Bingo! Of course. Wait a second. There's a button. Who was his first opponent in OVW?
2006 OVW. I'm going to go with Albright.
The Boogeyman.
Brent Albright.
No.
The Boogeyman. So that was like... Not Punk.
No.
Post Cornette, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Heyman's because Heyman was in ECW in 06, so maybe not post Cornette.
May
I
2006.
think this is like
Tail end.
Second opponent was.
I think this is the oh my
Damien
god,
Sandow.
it's the Al Snow Tommy Dreamer nightmare connection.
Oh, his fifth match in there was a tag team match. Him and the Pope versus Deuce and Domino.
Jesus Christ. The thing about OVW is that you might not know who it is because they had a lot of their own dudes, not just guys who were under
This guy wrestled on the main
contract.
roster under the same name.
Ricky Ortiz.
No, not quite as obscure. Didn't win any titles or anything like that, but was around sort of 06 or around that time was fairly prominent not fairly prominent, was used on the main roster.
JTG.
No, less prominent than that.
I'm just pulling names out my ass from the
Yeah, I
other
mean,
card
I've
of
got
this
no
era.
idea here.
You're probably looking at this opponent and thinking, why?
Simon Miller.
Oh, half right.
Simon Gatch.
No,
Simon
Dean.
is the correct answer.
So
That was because Nova was like a trade. He would do anything to keep his job. So it was like, I'll train, I'll be whatever.
Yeah.
Like Bucci.
2006, you say.
May 2006, yes.
19 years later, Sean Spears is now an extra. You know what I mean? It's funny, isn't it? What a weird story that is.
19 years ago, right? Having just main evented his first WrestleMania, CM Punk was hanging off John Cena's gangster car. That's what 19 years is. And here he is, sticking on a mask and taking an RKO.
Jesus Christ, it's funny. 2006. What time of my life that was?
Just first year of uni for me.
Uni for me. I was
Just graduated uni.
I was
Makes sense.
Yeah, rough.
I was either in end of first or beginning of second year. Both good. Both absolutely good. Still got loads of time left in your head. Good. But that's funny. I didn't catch much else from SmackDown. I saw that segment and I have to watch everything that Aleister Black does. I'm just, I want to know how badly it's going to do.
Beat Mello. Good stuff.
So he beat Mello and then he did this quite cool thing. I'm going to be fair, right? When it comes to Ali Black. Did this quite cool thing where he beats Mello and then this literally the second that Miz steps foot through the ropes, he hits him with a black mass. And it's quite well timed.
Okay.
And he's quite good at appearing cool, which is deeply ironic considering he's so lame. But he also does a vignette in which he promises to not anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I stuff.
Nope. Throw away all that wonderful lore that everyone understands and is fascinated by endlessly.
If he's like feuding with the Miz, like mess around in the mid card, but wrestler words for mess around in the mid card.
No, it's give you a clue. It's one of those. This thing that kind of sucked about me. Well, we'll just
Talk.
Like I said, the floor's yours.
They said that guy who speaks in riddles anymore, I will no longer do that. He says, I'm not going to speak in riddles anymore.
Okay.
What does he then proceed to kind of do? It's a riddle.
It's some riddlesky stuff.
But I still didn't really get what he was on about. It's one of those like, so he said, I'm not going to speak in riddles anymore.
Didn't he say something like, Mello, you think I don't know you, but maybe I do?
Yes. So he goes, it's something like, it's the thing, I literally heard him say these words on Saturday morning because I have to make sure he's on SmackDown so I can do my weekly tweet. Have you seen this?
I saw that tweet and I
this?
popped
like
a
the fact
lot of
that
that
this
tweet.
is,
That tweet made me laugh a lot.
That's the third time I've done it, you see.
That's excellent. That's even better than
So every
I want
single-
to like it 3 times.
Every single time he appears on SmackDown, I'm now going to do the tweet.
That's good.
The idea of also a free few hundred likes.
That's an excellent bit.
And it's going to get funnier every time because the mere fact that he's in WWE
What if he
now.
main events WrestleMania?
I know.
That's the bit.
I
Only
mean,
gets better.
sadly for me, that's never going to happen.
Good point.
But it's just every single time he's on WWE TV now, that 2.5 year stretch where he's like, I'm not going anywhere. Why do you keep making up these rumors and lies about me? It's like you wanted to go there all along. Here's an idea, pal. If you didn't want to be there and you didn't want to leave AEW, why have you left AEW and gone there? You know what I mean? It's like you revealed yourself to be lying, really. So he says, right, I'm not going to speak in riddles anymore. Then he says something along the lines of, and again, it's Mally Black. He can never really comprehend it. He says, he says, he says, it's not just about good nor evil. I am the consequences this company desperately needs. What does that mean? Like, what does that actually mean? And if it's a little bit, if it's a little bit cryptic and vague, wouldn't that fall under the broad classification of a riddle? Okay, I'm just asking questions here. So he says that I am the consequences this company desperately needs. What, you saying the company's bad? Or are you saying there's people in the company who are just... why be so vague and cryptic all the time, particularly since 20 seconds ago, you're just saying you're not doing riddles. And then he says something along the lines of, Carmelo Hayes gets it, or does he, or something like that. And he also says something, again, I wish I'd written this down actually, but it's just come to my head to talk about this because where are you talking too much about Backlash, on the fallout from Backlash show, you know? But he says something like, you don't know what I'm up to, or something like that. And it's like, is this guy on about? Why is it always this, like, I don't even think he knows he's doing it. Virtually everything this dude has ever said, if you can even remember it, which I barely can, virtually everything is along the lines of, you fools.
Yeah.
You don't know what I'm talking about, but if you're clever enough, you will, or I know more than you, or I'm keeping this secret from you.
The final detail will reveal itself.
Yeah, it's like, you stupid morons, you don't know what I'm talking about. It's like, correct. Why is everything this dude ever said predicated on the idea that everyone's stupid and he's so clever and above it all and knows the answers? You know what I mean? Like, he's so, like, casually dismissive of everyone else who could question what he does or what he thinks or what he says. Like, that's his bit. It's so heelish. He's
like the Twitter ombudsman of TV wrestling.
Well, it's kind of. It's
like over talking everybody. Like I'm above this, yet I am completely within it.
He says things like, "You don't know what I'm on about yet, but you might learn," or something like this. And it's just like he's so smug and withholding and cryptic and trying to be cleverer than everybody else. And he's ostensibly a babyface because he's targeted a heel, and yet he doesn't carry himself as a babyface with any kind of relatable characteristic or like a flaw or like virtue. It's always like, I know something you don't know.
Now I rest.
What's his problem?
His audience.
What is he? What's he talking about?
Well, you see, the promos don't matter to his fans because the Venn diagram of his audience as a babyface is goth default, bloodsport default. That's like he's got
Goth
those.
sport.
He's got the goth sport. He's got those two audiences, regardless of what he says, unless he turns heel, and then he's got those audiences regardless of what he says. Is he?
I'm just keep talking. I'm just seeing if I've got it right. I'm gonna
working my timelines out here, right? So he lands in AEW, admittedly when AEW was unbelievable, invincible, as Sidge says, on fire. But he targets Cody Rhodes. And it's sort of the beginning of the end of Cody Rhodes and AEW, that program. If you kind of trace it back, remember Cody leaves his boots in the ring, and
people are like, "Come on,
what's going on here? Like, what's you all right? Like,
All right.
yeah." And then,
so hang on, I very quickly just Googled Aleister. I will let you speak. Aleister Black SmackDown promo. I'm no longer going to speak in riddles. First headline: WrestleZone. Aleister Black explains why. No, he doesn't say that. He hints. Sorry, keep talking. He hints.
Like, so yeah, he arrives in AEW and he does that, and then Cody's kind of like, not in storylines, never the same again. Like, the character goes off the rails and he has no choice but to leave the company he helped found. Like, that's very much not a never the same again, good for business storyline. It's just.
Well, is this before or after he like left the Face of the Revolution ladder match and then came back again?
After it. Before it.
Because that was when they were like, oh, he's getting booed quite a lot. Let's take him out of the match for a bit. That always works.
After that. So the Face of the Revolution into the Anthony Ogogo was unideal, but the Aleister Black stuff kind of crystallized it because Cody cut that amazing promo that week at the announce desk down the lens, and you were like, things are fine, actually. They weren't, and it was never going to get right again. And then Malachi Black comes, look, I'm not saying, Aleister Black again, I'm not saying that like The Miz and Melo were like this act that were on fire. I enjoyed them. like a bit of silliness, but very, very, very light relief on quite a boring SmackDown. And then he gives him Dre after the Andre Giant Battle Royal, one of my WWE highlights of the year. And then Aleister Black comes and it up with his boring right? Is he doing like a reverse Waltman where like Sean Waltman goes to WWE in 1996 and he's this like cool factor that Hall and Nash desperately need to kind of keep Grandad Hogan from completely derailing the whole deal. And then he goes back to WWE and he's like Triple H's lifeline to make DX cool. He's like, Malachi Black, the reverse. It's like one day somebody cut a promo and they're like, both sides let you go in the middle of a wrestling war and you still turned up and it up each channel.
So I've got the promo. The people at WrestleZone have wrote it down.
Okay.
Would you like transcribed it? Would you like me to read
yes,
it
please.
to you? Okay. I mean, what is it with this dude? So he's in a vignette, and it's like he's got this like really sort of like multicolored background. And no, I'm just kidding. It's like he's shrouded in mystery. I expect this is the part where you expect me to speak in riddles, to pick up where I left off. Well, that part of me, that part of myself, that man, I buried him ritualistically, violently. Why does everything have to be like...
Just like the RKO Reddit guy, he blackmasked himself.
It sounds like... So I'll start again. It's funny. I expect this is the part where you expect me to speak in riddles. To pick up where I left off, well, that part of me, myself, that man, I buried him ritualistically, violently. And funny enough, what I found 6 feet deep, it wasn't death. No. It was the truth. So he's found the truth.
Oh, truth.
Found like the answer and all that.
Not yet.
All the rest of it. No riddles, okay? No riddles. He's literally just clarified that he will no longer be speaking in riddles. And the truth is, I came back because I truly believe that I am the consequence that this company so desperately needs. See, I am just the man that whispers in shadows. So whispering in shadows, that sounds like a cryptic riddle to me, isn't it? You know what I mean? That doesn't sound like... If you're whispering in the shadows, you don't really have a declarative statement of like complete and utter, just completely clear and concise, and you cannot be...
Sounds like a riddle to me.
You shouting in the open later on. Just the opposite, in fact.
Yeah. So I'm not going to speak in riddles. I'll pick up where I left off. I ritualistically and violently buried that person. I am just the man that whispers in shadows. And this is the part I was talking about where it's like, you stupid you don't understand, you idiot. I'm a babyface, by the way, and I'm programmed against a heel in The Miz. And the truth is, I came back because I truly believe that I am the consequence that this company so desperately needs. See, I am just the man that whispers in shadows, despite what you want me to do, despite what you think I might do. And when I say that, I don't mean that in a villainous way. No, this is so much bigger than just good versus evil. What are you, John Moxley? What are you talking about? And why is it like, despite what you want me to do,
What do it?
plebeian,
I wanted him to stay in AEW. He's doing nothing
despite
I wanted
what
him to
you
do.
think I might do, it's always like, you stupid idiot. You don't know me.
You know, it's a lot like that.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't know anything I'm doing with your feeble little brains. You cannot comprehend my vast and knowable power or my deep, profound purpose. Why is he always such a like an arrogant, you know what I mean? Like, what is this dude? Why is it always like, you stupid fool? And then he goes on to say, this is more than just the fog. Because this will cut deeper than any symbol ever could, anything that I could ever do. I'm here to confront you mentally and physically, and you get to decide which one is worse. And as for you, Carmelo, I haven't quite figured you out yet. Or have I? So like, riddle me this. Have I figured you out or not? He's left it vague. He's left the answer somewhat uncertain, which falls for me personally under the broad classification of a riddle. Is it a riddle or not a riddle? Is that riddle speak, or is it very clear, defined?
Sidge, you poor fool. That's not a riddle. That's a puzzle.
I mean, what?
He won after Mello accidentally hit Miz, who jumped up on the apron to help him.
Good.
With a roll up.
Oh, it's good. It's
Can you make sense of that?
God, no.
Things
God,
right.
no.
I'm wary, okay?
There's
and
one bit I can, but go on. Say what you're going to say
Okay,
first.
okay. Right. So I'm wary, right, of like, what do they call it? Like confirmation bias, when you are so intent on your hypothesis being correct that you will literally close off any other potential explanation for something. Like, no, it's this. I'm steadfast in my belief that the answer is this, or that the conclusion is this. Therefore, if someone makes a salient point, I'm so like intent on this being like the answer.
Yeah.
Nah.
Disregard
You're
the
wrong.
evidence.
Disregard. I don't want to be that person. Like that mode of thinking gestures broadly at literally everything has completely ruined the world. I do not want to fall down one of these holes, even if it's something as trivial as a pro wrestling character. I don't want to be that person. I don't. I hate that type of thinking. I see it on X every day. I see it everywhere, and it's awful, right? So I want you, be my accountability buddies here for Aleister Black. I want you to keep me honest, and I want you seriously, because I can feel myself slipping away, man. I don't want my identity as a WWE analyst to be like, oh, that's Aleister Black's crap. Sidgwick's not. I know it's starting already. It's because you're thinking, Sidgwick's not even on Raw. You can just leave it.
Yeah. You got
I'm on the brink. I need you boys, two of my best mates in the world at this point, reel me back in if I'm going too far. And if there's like, what if I'm just reading this? It's like, it's so certain. And there's so much clarity that you can't even begin to get confused by it. Is this happening? Or was that riddle talk?
Yeah, it's nonsense.
It was riddle talk. There was one thing
Don't enable me. Be honest.
Right, there's one thing in there, but it gets so lost in his riddle talk that it's really hard to decode. But I've watched enough Fed in my life. I know one thing that's happening there. And it comes as like a sequel to something that happened a couple of weeks ago as well. And I, for one, very much enjoy this. That bit about, like, you stupid fools, you think you know who I am? Well, that guy's dead.
You think you know me?
This guy's alive and the other guy's dead. I killed him ritualistically.
Violently.
You know the guy he's talking about, don't you?
The Dark Father.
The guy who worked in AEW, a.k.a. as Russo called it, the Abyss. That's 2 in 2 weeks of, like, it's over there. And enough of that.
But when he's done, not necessarily to pick up where I left off, because the thing is,
we laughed off, and we all have laughed.
Yes, that guy speaks in riddles.
Yeah,
I ended him.
Not him.
Ritualistically, violently ended. That guy who speaks in riddles, and then farther back on the timeline I go. Dark Father, disembodied head in the... We're talking 6 years of his life as a riddlesman.
Yeah.
So you could be talking about where he left off as the Dark Father or whatever.
That's true, yeah. The guy in the room.
So which incarnation of yourself is bad? And you must be pretty bad if people are confused about which one that is, because it could be any of them. Right. Well, we'll put an end to it now, and we'll start to preview Raw. I'm sorry. Just thank you for indulging me. I understand I'm on the brink. I understand I'm going down too many rabbit holes here. And just, I want you for my own health to go, Sidgwick. It's just Aleister Black. It's fine. He'll float around in the mid card, and you know what? He might do TNA at some point, and he's probably going to be around a while. And you're gonna have to worry about him and talk about him, but just don't get too emotionally invested. Nothing. Thanks. You've kept me right. You've kept me sane. But what is it with this guy? What's my problem?
He's a weird guy.
It's really funny as well. Having you on like SmackDown reviews, like 20 minutes on Aleister Black, and then we'll talk about the actual show.
It's like...
He drives me insane.
Well, the irony is, like, he bores the out of me. Like, I want to talk less about this. Is perfect for me. Like, I want you to drop in on
the
these...
mid-roll. I'd just tell me on Ali Black.
Yeah, these SmackDown reviews every week. Drop, like, we'll just pause it. We're like, right, the Poochie cut. You're in the chair and I'm gone. And it's like, right, Malachi Black next. And like, I want to talk about the Miz element of it. Like, what are Miz and Melo up to? Like, that's the part I'm into. Like,
They're all him.
Like, yeah, it's all him. But like, and this loser comes and it all up. In you step. Get him.
I think that's a nice arrangement.
There you go. Right, let's talk about Raw, though.
All right.
And all the fallout from Backlash. Were you surprised, not to get too much into it, but were you surprised at Valkyria defeating Becky Lynch?
Yes.
I assume that's going to be followed up tonight.
I wasn't surprised at the quality of the match, but I was surprised at the results.
Despite what you might think, Sorry, what's going on?
Lyra, Valkyria and Becky Lynch. Immediately after WrestleMania, there was after Becky turns on the same night that like a Seth Rollins heel stable forms around Paul Heyman, and loads of people post Dangerous Alliance pictures and get excited. And to be absolutely fair to WWE, them having stables that have had men and women in so that multiple divisions can be attacked at the same time, everybody put two and two together and thought, well, Becky Lynch should join Seth Rollins.
Well, no, because you remember 2019.
Well, but to counter that, their chemistry was cringeworthy and everybody hated it. As heels, fine.
Yeah.
Like that door might not be closed.
No.
Because this defeat might be the thing that drives her to it. Like the idea that she's lost, she felt like there was an injustice. She attacked her immediately after the bell. And, I thought it was again, this is why I'm annoyed with WWE's finishes of late, because I don't mind a DQ or a match being thrown out when it still feels of some value, like the main event of Raw last week. And I don't mind the babyface getting a roll up because it's a wrestling move, as long as you're not abusing it. And they've gone back to abusing it again. It like devalues Lyra Valkyria's win at the weekend. She was like selling her eyes, but she had enough about her as a workhorse champion with a workhorse belt to get it done. I would quite like Becky Lynch to sort of, having lost this match and then lost it a bit, to realise they're probably the answer. And Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. That's interesting to me. Paul Heyman looking upon Becky Lynch as like, we are exactly what you need right now upon your comeback, and then let's have a look at that. I genuinely think it could work. Might be completely barking up the wrong tree. I trust a lot what Becky Lynch gets up to on the main roster, because I feel like she clearly has some control over who she works with. There seems like she's one of them stars. She's found the middle where she clearly gets to pick who she works with based on the proviso that, well, because I want to help them. Like Triple H as a booker must love that, because he's like, well, she wants to work with this person, but it's not in this weirdly political way, because she's going to try and get them more over than they were before. Like, she's a gift in that regard to a booker. So I would say the move is put her with the Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins stable, but maybe that isn't the play.
And it's convenient timing as well, with obviously Punk coming back last week and costing Seth Rollins in the main event. The immediate conversation was, right, who's going to be the next person to join the stable then? Because they've clearly not got enough.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel like they're done with three, does it?
No.
It doesn't look complete yet. And they've got and the cool thing is that you get like reveals and that are fun. Like the Braun Breaker reveal. I was watching a clip. You know, people like aggregate everything once it's 10 minutes old and be like, God, they were the good old days. Somebody was sharing the clip of frigging Rhea Ripley joining Edge's Judgment Day. And I mean, that was a disaster until Edge left it. But she pulls the hoodie off, she stares down the lens, and it gets this massive reaction.
Similar to AEW's 2025.
There's a theme. But yeah, in the moment, it's like, well, Christ, Rhea Ripley's joined. This is interesting. She's joined this stable. So that pullback and reveal is always pretty cool. And it doesn't feel like that stable's complete yet.
Ever seen Zodiac?
No.
Seen Zodiac?
No.
It's about a guy who gets like really deeply obsessed with something to the point where he loses his family and ultimately like what is professional life. Maybe that could be an idea for the Raw preview Photoshop. Who knows? But I just love
Black.
I love the idea.
It's you from It's Always Sunny. They're just all Aleister Black pictures.
Don't know about. Love the idea of going, I've got it worked out. After all these years. Probably 2019 is when he first starts to really speak.
No, I thought you were talking about Punk for a second then. I realised you're still about
We're talking about Aleister Black.
Sidgwick on the pallet lifter. One more thing.
So doesn't really speak that much at all, much less nonsense in NXT, really. Tommy End, I don't know. Watching that.
I was never a Tommy End guy.
So he's like, on the pallet and he's in the room. It's like, that's the origin story of him talking 2019.
Yeah.
We're talking 6 years of solid effluence. 6 years of this, 6 years, different companies. And everyone's just going, what? Love the idea. Right? Love the idea of someone just going, figured this out. I've gone through every single word, every single contour of eye makeup, every single bit of lighting, which he said reflected everything. And someone has gone, I've got it. I cannot believe it. There was something to this all along. I finally got it. It's the fog. I'm not the fog. Oh. Damn it! I thought he was the fog, but it's not merely the fog, so.
He's just lifting unfinished plots from Lost.
God damn it. He said that, I'm not the fog.
Not the fog.
I'm not the fog, you fool.
Look at the end of Lost. I'm not the fog. I am but the dog.
Polar bear. What do you think next for Becky Lynch? Would you like to see her joining Seth's stable?
No. What's the point?
I think it'd be beneficial for her. As
Sorry, can star on her too, Fee. She's doing great.
Looks cool, though. Good look cool.
Don't care about that.
All right.
I'll speak more on Becky Lynch later. A little bit of a plug for our
Can you decode what he's saying?
For our Backlash review. But no,
Backlash.
I think she does not need to be associated with... here's the thing. Probably, I don't think it does anything for her necessarily. I think that she's can hold down this division. She's the key focal point of it, or one of them on Raw right now. I like Becky Lynch. A few problems I had with the performance, notwithstanding, on Saturday. I don't want to hear Paul Heyman be Paul Heyman when she's on screen, because I just can't with Paul Heyman. So I don't think she needs it. Paul Heyman is not a performer I enjoy particularly. That hyperbole when it ramps up for Bron Breakker that trademark Heyman hyperbole for a Bron Breakker will really help, because when Heyman's at it and he is relentless, that's his whole deal, that's his whole MO. I'll forget, there's a few 3-minute stretches in a Bron Breakker match that I find boring, because that woodpecker repetition. I'll forget it when Heyman bigs him up. I don't need Heyman's big one trick to gas up Becky Lynch, because her work speaks for itself. So I don't need her with Heyman.
Female in the stable. This group needs a female to across both divisions. Heyman and Bron Breakker's link was established that night that he turned up on NXT and was Bron Breakker's one-night manager. But that wasn't the only NXT performer that he was caught in, was it?
Bloodline, yeah.
She ain't got to say it. She's Rockstar General Manager at NXT. Save her.
And she's going to be the new member of the stable.
Yeah.
She's back in the red hoodie that she wore before she joined the ski team.
The gym. So,
which one was the Dyad? Was that the tag?
It was just the tag team.
Okay, yeah.
That was when that tweet was like, "What's that TV match that you just die for?" It was like, "It's the Dyad and the Creeds in the cage for me." Like,
you reckon, right? You know when he did what they're called, the Vox things that that Miller sometimes do on the WrestleMania coverage.
Vox Pops.
You reckon you could go as the line is snaking around Allegiant Stadium, or even next year in the old Superdome? WWE fan, yeah, you've got your t-shirt on. What's a schism? Anyone will say, "Oh yeah, of course it was 4 branches, 1 tree." Everyone knows that. Or do you think no one will know?
Unless it was a podcast listener, no chance.
It's so tough to know people's connection with NXT. And I'm saying that as somebody that's been in the building for those WrestleMania weekend shows. Even then, I'm like, they're not getting the reaction I thought they might.
Yeah.
Do you what? There was just wrestling at 9 o'clock and you fancied it? And that's fine, by the way.
They didn't know that Tony D was from Chicago when they ran Chicago last year.
Yeah. Very odd.
But the Punker returns tonight off the back of interfering, obviously, in the main event. What's the future hold for him, apart from potentially a Saudi show?
It's happening. And we always said it would. He'll spin it. We talked about this morning over
Yeah.
It was always going to, I love CM Punk, love his work, but I never think it's...
Never even mentioned it.
It's never as much of a gotcha as people think it is when CM Punk betrays his values for the business, because he's a 20-year pro at many things, that included. But I do, being a fan means that you're probably going to get a good promo tonight. It won't be as good as the one he cut. That is.
If he's a man, then I'm a man as well. Sorry, the Tool song about selling out.
I don't know.
Popped into my head there. Some good swearing on that. I'll send it over to you.
What's turned out to be realistically the best bit of the John Cena heel turn aftermath was the promo CM Punk cut on The Rock and John Cena the night after Elimination Chamber. It's not been as good as that. So this stable, this is CM Punk's first chance to verbally respond to its existence, having beaten them down once and then gotten beaten down on the Raw after WrestleMania. I love that he can have so much to say with very little seemingly to set up. He can talk about how at some point he's probably going to be forced to align with Roman Reigns to deal with this problem. I love how there's this pretty cool, if you want to think about it, and I do, underlying tension between him, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso, because Punk has made no secret of wanting that title. But he's a babyface, and the babyfaces stick together. Sami Zayn looked this close to turning on Jey Uso in something that we were invited to forecast. That's coming down the line. So you've got Jey Uso now with his closest allies that are about to make no secret of the fact they want that title sooner or later, but it just so happens a bigger problem has come in front of them. That's booking 101.
101.
Like, they're both supposed to want the belt, but
101.
the baddies right now are the pressing issue. Like, set up multiple singles and tag matches if you want tonight. You don't need to deliver any of them right away, but like we talked about it last week, I think, like, mileage may vary because it is Seth Rollins, and I understand that. I think there is a cool new CM Punk Seth Rollins match out of all of this. They're 1-on-1, and the dynamic is as clear as it's ever been between who's the babyface and who's the heel. Punk and Breaker. Who doesn't want to watch that? Like, Punk getting speared in half.
Ages ago, didn't he? Yeah.
Like Punk getting speared in half.
Teased a lot the old Fed.
Like, it's all still there. There's so many new CM Punk matches, while Sami Zayn has to tread carefully with how much he trusts CM Punk and how much he trusts CM Punk around Jey Uso. But then we're watching now thinking, well, Zayn's got the belt in the back of his mind too. His motivations are no longer as virtuous as might have once been. I love this, like, the potential of how they've set up this main event scene on Raw is pretty exciting. 2025 WWE has me with a little bit less faith that they'll see it all through, but I like the way all the pieces are shaking out.
I can't be arsed with Punk versus Rollins. I do find it funny that it must continue capital M, capital C, because, late December of last year.
Switch those initials around, though. CM.
Yeah, I know. But late last year, before I was rudely interrupted, there was just some reports getting filtered out that... Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Seth. Because guess what? I'm going on to Roman Reigns. It's me. So what we're doing here.
And the Seth that won the WrestleMania, I kind of attaboy him for that. And he won the main event of WrestleMania. From that in December to I'm winning actually. Yeah. Both of you. Nice ones. Like, good for you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Maybe. Oh, cooking. Yeah. I will say that. I don't want to see that. Broadly, yes, Punk will say, I'm feuding with these guys. This is why I'm going to beat them or whatever. Two ideas. I don't usually have any. Talking about the Fed. Idea number one. They should peak New Japan book Braun versus Punk, where Braun will get a key win over Punk in a singles match. Meanwhile, Punk will win Rumble or Chamber and headline a WrestleMania or win the title even before then, do a tournament or whatever. And then after he's got the belt, Braun can be like, well, it's 1-0. Peak, so it's classic wrestling working.
If Punk beats Cena in December, you line up a Rumble winners that would potentially face CM Punk at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Absolutely. And then the people who face him can say you've already retired in your mind. You've got what you wanted all along. You're not motivated. I am. Blah 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 blah. And if Punk, this will be faithful to the story they've established between Punk and Rollins thus far. Punk tonight can go, yeah, Seth, whatever. I'm not bothered about you. You need Heyman to beat me, and I beat you, whatever. It's Braun that is the real force in this group, and then that could feed into the idea of. I've been through it. Braun Breaker's way too over to be the Batista. I don't want him in a suit. Like, the whole genius of the Batista push was you saw the most raw of materials and then fell in love with it yourself. Breaker's too far above where Batista was for this to work because it's telegraphed and everyone's said it already. You are Batista. So I do feel like that's not going to work quite as well, but who cares? They've already got a baby face. They've already done the hard work. It just means a lot of narrative obligation and pretending that he's not going to be the star or going to turn on Seth. But I do think it would be faithful to the story that they've told if Punk is going to be all you're the one I'm worried about, not so much Seth. And then Heyman could do his big faces to let you know that he agrees. And that's the end of my chat.
You mentioned Jey Uso there. How will he respond to Logan Paul's attack, presumably setting up, their match is going to be taking place at Saturday night's main event in a couple of weeks?
he's just going to have to hit him back. Like, it's Jey Uso. We talked about this last week with the Seth Rollins match, and one of the reasons why it was as effective as it was. They are really onto something here with Jey Uso being rubbish. Like, I don't mean that cynically one bit. I love Jey Uso.
Loves him.
Love him, warts and all. And
Like
his
CM Punk as well, don't you? Got his little hoodie on.
Sure do. Yeah, it's a AEW one, because you can love all wrestling equally. You can't. Like, Jey Uso's rubbish. I love that. Like, the better he gets, the worse all of this is. Like, he's not, it's really weird. The character is a paper champion. The man is absolutely not. And that is such a unique position to be in. Like, you buy and believe in Jey Uso in spite of his flaws, in spite of the fact that, like, a lot of, like, almost the booking of him and the way he performs almost encourages you to, like, talk down the people that rightfully attack him. You know, like, Jey Uso's a bad wrestler. You shut up. Argue why he's a good wrestler. I said, you shut up. Like, you can't. You cannot argue against what he's not good at, but you love him in spite of that. And that's a very unique character to have as your world champion, because historically, you would kind of only be allowed to a certain level.
Yeah.
I think that's why the booking of him as a contender worked as well as it did, because it's like you could buy right up to the point where he's hit the Uso splash and Gunther kicks out, and that's as close as he was going to get. But they've gone with him. What that means is every title match has got that same drama. Every title match has got that. And, like, right down to Logan Paul, the guy who feels like more people have gone off than not. The novelty is worn off. Yes, you're a tremendous gymnast. You're an unbelievable athlete, realistically. But you don't seem to know how to put the pieces together. Like, you are the latest in a long line of AJ Styles WrestleMania failures. Are you calling it, or are you not listening to it? What is it that's going wrong in your matches that are stopping them having the glue that you really need?
He's got that just incredible Buff Bagwell thing where it's like, oh, God, I hate you for a week.
Yeah.
And I don't really care about seeing you be this heel douchebag for, like, forevermore.
But here, and, like, again, this is not me advocating, like, for the match being good at Saturday night's main event, but for all of that, Jey Uso is the right opponent, because Logan Paul's got this power of the punch. He's got, like, fantastic athleticism, and that can beat Jey Uso, because Jey Uso is simply Jey Uso. Like, that is so useful to have as your babyface world champion, is that somehow you are the top of the mountain and yet you are 100% of the time fighting from underneath. Like, that is, like, that's to use his name, that's like a Vince McMahon white meat babyface dream, because the amount of times he did that to his babyface is when it's like, nah, this guy needs to win more.
Yeah.
Fans back winners, fans back winners, fans back winners. They have never backed a loser as hard, we have never backed a loser as hard as Jey Uso, ever. Like, this is unprecedented that a loser has been backed to this degree. And that powers something like a feud with Logan Paul. It's a 3-week TV thing. Like, I've already seen digs being thrown at this Saturday night's main event because it's got this and John Cena and R-Truth. I like them both. Like, I like them both for what they are rather than worrying about what they're not. Neither of them are going to be that good to watch, like, from an in-ring point of view. But I think the drama, I think the noise, and I think the characterizations carry both.
I thought he could piss in a bottle of Prime and Logan Paul drink it and have no difference.
Both good takes.
Randy Orton sold it like it was piss at Backlash, didn't he?
Yeah.
And they've got
Backsplash.
You know what? They love a prank, the Usos, if you remember the events of 2019.
I do.
With the revival. It was Jimmy, though, who was doing the laughter thing.
It's so funny.
Off. So, but they're pranksters. They both love to have some fun.
We're giving him a hard ass.
So, yeah. So they're well versed in the art of pranking. The old Ribski City Jones.
Logan Paul's like holding his like selfie stick, and he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And all of a sudden, he's rubbing his arse along the mat like a dog, and he's still
like
filming.
worm-infested anus.
And then that video like goes mega viral of him scratching his arse on the canvas. 80 million views.
What are the other classic pranks? Putting your finger in a bowl when you're asleep.
Yeah, tying shoelaces together.
Cling film over the toilet bowl.
Yep, so you're crapping on your own ass.
hey,
ass crap. What'd you name it?
That's all.
Prank war then. That's what we're going with.
Prank war, yeah.
Logan Paul falls asleep, and Jey Uso warms up a bottle of Prime and then puts his finger in it.
What about instead, because one of my favourite Jackass moments, what about, like, Logan Paul's just walking through the back and he's like, hey, Logan, yeet, and then just giant hand just crushes.
Giant yeet hand.
Yeah. Love that.
So instead of to the side, it's on the top.
Down, just smashes.
Right in the dome. Right in the dome. Giant yeet hand right in the dome.
We can't
How would that sound as well?
like the leaves as well go.
It's good. That's probably it, actually.
It's good stuff, that.
Spoiler.
You can't mention Jey Uso without mentioning Gunther. What's next for him after defeating Pat McAfee?
Whatever you want, he's the best in the world. Like, I loved it.
Not that
good. Love him.
I had a lot of fun with that match.
Again, I kind of wait to have a chat with you and just disagree. Every on the internet was getting it wrong and you won't, and that's nice. It's just a relief, you know? A real relief. You, mate, you're the one.
You might even illuminate something in it for me as well.
That's what we can potentially do for one another. Mute every other bit.
Yeah.
Every single other bit. Mute. You're all wrong. Gunther's the best. It's not at all a fix to his problem. Beating a commentator within an inch of his life, turns out, will not fix the fact that he can't get it done in the high-pressure situation. And that's good booking. This Gunther thing, this long-standing Gunther thing where, like, the side quests will theoretically make up for the real quiz, which is you lose on the big stage against the big opponents, allows so much wiggle room for this Gunther character.
Money in the Bank for me.
He can enter Money in the Bank,
yeah,
and he could win it, and he could carry a briefcase around, and that goes against what Gunther's.
Yeah, it's like disdain towards the toys and the props.
The fundamental beliefs of what he believes all of this should be, and how you win titles. Even if you cheat a bit, how you win is in a match where you work hard at it, and you're just harder than the other wrestler ultimately. Money in the Bank goes against that, but he will take it because he's a hypocrite that shies away from his failings. It's such a well-rounded character. I'm increasingly starting to feel like I did watching the Punker in the mid-2000s when I was on forums being like, I think he's better in my company than yours, robots. I'm starting to feel like that about Gunther in WWE. Like, he's nailed what it is to be a sports entertainer, a WWE superstar. And yes, that will have been at the expense of stuff that people never wanted to see him lose when he left the Indies. But what a position they're in with him. Yeah. You could set off, just like after WrestleMania, you could set off another storyline with him just as much as you could have him say, I'm done with this for a bit. Like, I don't need to prove myself. Like, I'll get myself a Money in the Bank and then that'll be me. Everybody seems to be talking about the Goldberg match.
Yeah.
Like, SummerSlam's got 2 nights to fill, so that feels like the place for that. There's no rush to get there, but it only takes one line a week from him. Just like tonight he comes out, well,
who's next?
Yeah, who's next? Some other loser ex-footballer that wants to try his hand at being a wrestler. It's all to play for it.
That's like kind of AEW-esque, that kind of
it's
like...
Just, but like on off the back of what looked like nothing but a side quest against Pat McAfee was in fact to exist for this. Like, it only takes a line and then you forget about it again for 6 more weeks, and then when it is time to pull the trigger on Goldberg, you get there.
I was annoyed because it was Goldberg's son's birthday on Saturday, so I was hoping he was going to get attacked. But
like seeing young boys on your TV screen.
He's of legal age. It's absolutely fine. Right, lots of matches.
Always an awful phrase when you got to use it. That
more matches. Oh, one of these is absolute snooze.
I can't picture which one that would be. Really excited for the first time ever to see Penta and Chad Gable interact. Penta obviously just falling short at the pay-per-view. After interference from El Grande Americano. But obviously Chad Gable, nothing to do with that. So he's facing Penta tonight.
I mean, I don't care anymore. Like, reunite the Lucha Bros. Reunite the Lucha Bros.
Devastated to report, we are here again. Yep. My dreams of singles pushes for either man are up in smoke, just like they were 5 years ago. It's time. This is this Chad Gable or El Grande Americano, because Penta's got 2 feuds. We can't say that he's got
concurrent feuds.
2 things on deck. He's going to need a partner. Maybe they do Lucha Brothers versus El Grande Americano and Chad Gable. What will that look like?
Oh, come on.
I mean, I'd be into that.
Yeah.
I mean, who could adequately fill in for Chad Gable, who is obviously masquerading as El Grande Americano?
Julius Creed.
Keep going under the ring.
At the Bellas the first time when they pulled their arms and legs.
Be interesting to do this match removed from the whole, like, Penta could have botched 8 times in a row, and there's a certain demo that would be like, it was great. Absolutely wonderful stuff, this. What does this look like without all of that pyro and ballyhoo?
Good Russo, isn't that, wasn't it? I used to start every Raw.
Yeah.
Somebody, I think it was a Twitch stream that he was doing recently, where, like, do you see this?
No, but I've seen something else to do with Russo.
Screenshot where, like, Russo's doing...
I am listening, but I need to find something as well.
Wrestling sim, wrestling. Like,
Oh, yeah.
And he's like the GM, and he's like, I think, and you can pick the scenario. So like the scenario within the game is like WCW 2000, whatever. One of the ones that Russo was in, right? And then somebody had screenshotted it because they were watching this Twitch stream or however he's done it. And this is fine. We can shoot on Russo because I've seen his videos where he shoots on us too. Like, we're all after the same numbers, dickhead. Like it's you he goes for as well. That's why I take it personally. Wouldn't care if it went for me.
Who's this?
When Russo like castrating the mics, and it's always this pock like just being good at his job. And then Russo and one of his loser mates will be like, "Look at this guy."
Is he castrating the mark?
That's the show, right? Every now and then we'll get tagged in that, and it's just you barely hear or like see any of it because
he did come up. He did come up over the weekend.
But the scenario was like, make him the booker and whatever. And there's like, say it's Nitro, like the first 7 segments feature Vince Russo, like tearing up the format. Yeah. Like segment 3, 6 minutes. Russo tells former authority figure to get the hell out of town. Seg 8, still no match. Still no champion. Russo strips the roster of the belts.
Quick 2-minute match. Right, let's get out of the way.
So before we preview the 2017 match of the year between AJ Styles and Finn Balor, Jesus Christ, it's 2025, lads. It's 2025. Vince Russo did get some elusive engagement from his attempts to be a troll and a bad faith dude over the weekend. He's got a list now. A list of your remark if you're one of these things. Would you like me to read it out?
Yeah, go on.
Please.
You have convinced yourself that professional wrestling is real. Professional wrestling is the most important thing in your entire life. He's 1 for 2.
Football for me.
You own a lot of black shirts with pit stains. Yeah, family for me. Football probably 2. Football 1 for you though.
No, family then football. I misspoke.
You don't just want to go to a wrestling show, but you want to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's me.
You sing along with wrestlers' theme songs at the top of your lungs. Dave Meltzer is your god. Work rate in fake wrestling matches is important to you.
Finally one that doesn't...
Yes.
Oh, God. I'm back.
You hate any form of entertainment in your wrestling. You orgasm over Japanese wrestling. I think he means orgasm.
Maybe he's like Malachi Black and he's speaking in riddles.
Yeah, I think he means orgasm.
Aleister, what's an orgasm?
Orgasm over Japanese wrestling.
Always spell something wrong.
You are opposed to seeing attractive women in wrestling.
Looks like I'm doing pretty good at this one.
That's some good news for you.
Go on.
You know who's...
I've heard about Mina Shirakawa coming back. Baby, the first thing I thought when you said about orgasming. Sorry, what was you talking about?
Shut up, man. You walk around the arena with a championship belt over your shoulder. Now, I've met dudes who've got the titles, and that's so nice. Yeah. So maybe at one stage in my life, I'm thinking, I've met them. They're lovely people. You rent space free of charge in your mom's basement.
Yes, that's so specific.
Can we just pause this there a second, right? Mom's basements is this thing that wrestlers love. It's one of the lamest things that they always lean on. You can tell, like, once upon a time, it was proper BSK. Like, somebody said Mom's basement, you get that laugh. Like, I just took that as, oh, yeah, you live at home with folks and stuff. No, it's because it's in America with those big, giant wooden houses.
Class.
Mom's basements are awesome. Like, I'd try and...
neon sign in the corner.
It's not like just a basement here where you kind of go down there.
I want some more Cheetos, yeah.
That you need to take a torch and you're going to trip over some paint buckets or something. That's our basement.
Tostitos and some chicken tendies.
Yeah.
So we'll go plus a few more.
Backlash review, by the way. I think I've discovered the greatest thing in the world.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sure you haven't, but we'll see what we'll hear you out.
My mind is open.
You are part of a tribe that loves one wrestling brand and hates the other wrestling brand. WB in all caps. I don't know why. You hate Vince Russo. You are offended if anyone refers to you as a mark. You honestly believe Triple H or Tony Khan are true bookers of the year.
Bollocks.
You cried when Cody Rhodes finished his story and beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. You make every excuse in the book when your brand's rating is down for the week.
Is he... This is a bit...
That's it.
It's a bit Aleister Black, this, isn't it? You're this.
Nice, very...
But you're not, you fools.
I know that's what he's doing.
Cody Rhodes was more like... Finishing the story was more like sports entertainment than pro wrestling, but earlier on in the list, he bollocks us for
Yeah. You can't lie against.
Yeah. You fools.
Is he the
stupid morons?
Penta gets the win?
Yeah.
He kind of has to get another win at this point, otherwise.
Chad Gable can lose. El Grande Americano can't. That's the rule.
Why are you talking about this?
I've noted.
Can we get to the 2017 4.25-star match, please?
Yes, Finn Balor's set to deal with the AJ Styles problem tonight.
Well, is he going to have him do a good match for once? I mean, look, AJ is what AJ is.
Yeah.
Get the Omega and Ospreay matches done, because there'll be loads of thought put behind them. There'll be minimal thought put behind this. This is the sort of match that exists for idiots with the blue ticks to say banger. When move for move, it's in another promotion. It's the death of wrestling. So it's going to be broadly well wrestled.
Yeah, boring. The match,
AJ Styles is winning.
AJ Styles is winning. The match is boring. We were piecing something together that may have been for naught ahead of WrestleMania, but is this anything? Right? Is this a thing? It was Dominic Mysterio that was petitioning Finn Balor for a new member of the Judgment Day, and we were noting at the time that Karrion Kross was trying to get in AJ Styles' head.
Oh my God.
It's like, you need to start making some changes. You got to defend the soul of WWE against Logan Paul.
Karrion Kross and Aleister Black.
Yeah.
No, they're two very different people.
Worries me how similar that is sometimes. But in AJ Styles beating Finn Balor...
Karrion Kross has got comic timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In AJ Styles beating Finn Balor...
Knock.
That's going to strengthen Dominic's resolve to want to bring in that new member of the Judgment Day, the new member being AJ Styles, which we talked about, and then Finn Balor's like, what, at my friggin' expense? Because he beat me. Mm-hmm. And Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio's tension's going to... maybe that's not all dead yet, is what I'm saying.
I think Aleister Black could be funny. Knock.
Who's there, Aleister?
Wouldn't you like to know?
There was a doorbell, you fools. Well, I mean, we've been trying to get in Aleister Black's room before. 8 weeks of SmackDown with a payoff.
Throw away the key.
We also have...
It's the longest Raw preview of all time.
It's up there, yeah. Any more you want to say about Styles and Balor? No. Okay. War Raiders...
I didn't want to say one thing.
War Raiders versus the Creed brothers.
Oh, God, this is going to be tedious.
This could be fun.
Could it?
It could be. It won't be. It could be. It could be. If the Creeds were baby faces...
Didn't they have a not bad match a couple of months ago, actually?
Yeah. If the Creeds were baby faces or featured, this could be good. But they're not, so it probably won't be. The War Raiders, I feel like, a bit mean when I talk about them because I've got nothing positive to say. I think the act isn't good.
Where's the boat, lads?
Not being funny, they're pretty thrashed. They were never really over. Triple H likes Viking stuff, so they're going to get a push. I mean, that's the end. Long, short, beginning and end.
That's the long boat of it.
Just
do and boat of it.
Do the boat match. The whole reason they're fighting is because the New Day are like, other people should get shots at the title, like the Creed brothers. They're going to beat the Creed brothers and be like, we've beat him again. We want another title shot. Just have a boat match, please, lads.
And then you pay it off there, yeah.
Yeah, then that's it.
New Day win on the boat.
And here's the thing, guys. If you have a boat match, Adam Wilbourn will pretend the whole thing was good because it ended in a boat.
Exactly.
So it's win-win for the old optics.
Pretend, legitimately. Oh, thank God. Here comes the boat.
What started at WrestleMania ends in a boat.
There's only one boat that I really dislike. Right, final match to talk about tonight.
We don't do boats.
What boat do you not like?
It's not about Natalia anyway.
Yeah.
Apart from in Bloodsport, apparently she's awesome.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
Bloodsport.
Let's talk about Rhea Ripley and Io Sky teaming up to take on Roxanne Perez, who presumably has got one foot on the main roster now.
Well, she does, but that's the thing. She's got the other foot in NXT.
Yeah.
So who knows?
We can't crack that beer just yet.
She's having one of those Aleister Black runs. You don't know what's going on.
Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez and Giulia.
And increasingly, very few people care.
Should be quality.
Yeah.
They'll work the fans into this, I think.
Yep.
Where actually is Raw tonight? Where does it emanate from?
No, looking forward to this.
Who is it again?
What, this match?
Yeah.
Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez and Giulia.
That should be good. This should be strong.
All month, kind of from WrestleMania onwards.
Don't say it's the old Eagle ski. It's the best one ever, that.
No, it's from Louisville, Kentucky. I can't really think of a joke here, so I'll read out the name of the arena, and you can see if you can. It's the KFC Yum Center.
So more like the KFC Cum Center.
Good one.
It's a chicken nutting.
Big cock. The work in this division has been terrific. Everything WrestleMania onwards, pretty much.
Yes!
Io Sky has broke through. Like, sometimes you don't realise the glass ceiling is there until somebody smashes it. And this last sort of month, Io Sky smashed that glass ceiling. That's really cool. Thank you. I like this call.
I agree. It's good stuff.
But you couldn't, could you? She'd been a champion before. She had one of your favourite matches at last year's WrestleMania, but you don't almost notice. It's like, yeah, they sort of really, you're there, but we didn't know there was a there that you could get to. She has actually done it.
Just found the thing.
On par with Rhea Ripley. Possibly surpassing her because Rhea's not had the matches the last year or so because they've relied on the star power. Mm-hmm. But I like this. From like the moment they were called up, I think this Roxanne Giulia thing has worked for both of them as well. I've never really bought Roxanne Perez as a heel until now. She's wrestling with a purpose, and that purpose might be more about what's happened behind the scenes than what's happened in front of the camera. I still can't work out quite what went down on her road to WrestleMania. Something was off. But she now looks like she's playing catch-up with whatever she lost, and you can see it in her work. And Giulia, as a heel, is firing compared to how she was as a babyface.
Yeah. Heels win to set up the matches going forward. Singles matches, right?
Probably, but that means...
I think Giulia pins Io Sky here, by the way.
There's always a Debbie Deeks on the table again. Now this is what you get, unfortunately.
This is what you get
when you mess with your clean finish policy. For a minute there, you were my fed. Not more. So yeah, probably a Debbie Deeks because the heel should win, but you're taking a risk pinning us a bit. You could pin Rhea Ripley here. You could.
Giulia pins Io Sky.
Io Sky, title shot, pin the chat. Fair enough, I guess. I'd like to see one of the
miscommunication because still can't get along and
Rhea's still upset.
I'd like one of the baby faces to get pinned.
Yeah.
It shows commitment to the heels, and I think they've done that with the booking so far.
Do you think that happens, or do you think it's Debbie Deeks?
I don't know. I drifted away. Debbie Deeks.
Okay.
Sad, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen tonight. I think they're going to get some, maybe even setting up a Saturday night's main event that quick, or they're probably Money in the Bank.
What, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley?
No, Io Sky and Giulia.
Okay.
Although I think maybe Rhea's in Money in the Bank.
Yeah, they've got some decent combinations.
Some big names to go in that this year. Anyway, let us know your thoughts ahead of Raw tonight in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Well, actually, you can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Or Michael Sidgwick at
Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. As we've mentioned, we'll be back later on today to review Backlash. But for now, this has been the Raw preview. My thanks to Hamflett and Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.